Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk to you about where demons come from. A lot of people think that demons are fallen angels, and they are not. Demons are the offspring of fallen angels. And I am going to share some scriptures with you from the Bible and from other books on where the demons came from. Okay, so we're going to start with Genesis 6, 1 through 22. Then the people began to multiply on the earth, and daughters were born to them. The sons of God saw the beautiful women and took any they wanted as their wives. Then the Lord said, "My spirit will not put up with humans for such a long time, for they are only mortal flesh. In the future, their normal lifespan will be no more than 120 years. In those days and for some time after, giants, Nephites, lived on the earth. For whenever the sons of God had intercourse with women, they gave birth to children who became the heroes and famous warriors of ancient times. The Lord observed the stint of human wickedness on the earth, and he saw that everything they thought or imagined was consistently totally evil. So the Lord was sorry he had ever made them and put them on the earth. It broke his heart, and the Lord said, "I will wipe this human race I have created from the face of the earth. Yes, and I will destroy every living thing, all the people, the large animals, the small animals, the scary along the ground, and even birds of the sky. I'm sorry I ever made them." But Noah found favor with the Lord. So, a lot of people believe that these sons of God were angels, and in the book of Job, it refers to sons of God as angels. And I'm going to read some other books that talk about that. Okay, the book of Jubilee, and this is chapter 5 in the book of Jubilees. And I love the book of Jubilees because it divides years up into 50. Okay, so this whole chapter 5 is about the angels of God marry the daughters of men. 1, corruption of all creation. 2 through 3, punishment of the fallen angels and their children. And then final judgment announced, and then Day of Atonement. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to make this print a little bit larger so I can read it. So just give me a minute here. Okay. And it came to pass when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the angels of God saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee, that they were beautiful to look upon. And they took themselves wives of all whom they chose, and they bare unto them sons, and they were giants. And lawlessness increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupt its way. And like men and cattle and beasts and birds and everything that walks on the earth, all of them corrupted their ways and their orders, and they began to devour each other. And lawlessness increased on the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of all men was thus evil continually. And God looked upon the earth, and beheld it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted its orders, and all that were upon the earth had wrought all manners of evil before his eyes. And he said, okay, hold on, I got to scroll up. And he said that he would destroy man and all flesh upon the face of the earth which he had created. But Noah found grace before the eyes of the Lord. And against the angels whom he had sent upon the earth, he was exceedingly wroth, and he gave commandments to root them out of all their dominion. And he bade us to bind them in the depths of the earth, and behold, they are bound in the midst of them, and are kept separate. And against their sons he went forth a command from before his face, that they would be smitten with the sword, and be removed from under heaven. And he said, "My spirit shall not always abide on man, for they also are flesh, and their days shall be 120 years. And he sent his sword into their midst, that each should slay his neighbor. And they began to slay each other till they all fell by the sword, and were destroyed from the earth. And their fathers were witnesses of their destruction. And after this they were bound in the depths of the earth forever, until the day of the great condemnation, when judgment is executed on all those who have corrupted their ways and their works before the Lord. And he destroyed all from their places, and there was not left one of them whom he judged, not according to all their wickedness. He made for all his works a new and righteous nature, so that they shall not sin in their whole nature forever, but should be all righteous, each in his kind always. And the judgment of all is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets in righteousness, even the judgment of all who depart from the path which is ordered for them to walk in. And if they walk not therein, judgment is written down for every creature and for every kind. And there is nothing in heaven or on earth, or in light or in darkness, or in the shore or in the depth, or in the place of darkness, and all their judgments are ordained and written engraved. And see. In regard to all, he will judge the great according to his greatness, and the small according to his smallness, and each according to his ways. And he is not one who will regard the person, nor is he one who will receive gifts. If he says that he will execute judgment on each, if one gives everything that is on the earth, he will not regard the gifts or the person, nor accept anything at his hands, for he is a righteous judge. Of course, you know only the blood of Jesus can save us from our sins, not money or any of that. And let's see here. So, and as for all those who corrupt their ways and their thoughts before the flood, no man's person was accepted save that of Noah alone. For his person was accepted in behalf of his sons, whom God saved from the waters of the flood on his account. For his heart was righteous in all his ways, according as it was commanded regarding him, and he had not departed from aught that was ordained for him. And the Lord said that he would destroy everything which was upon the earth, both men and cattle, and beasts and birds of the air, that which moveth on the earth. And he commanded Noah to make him an ark, that he might save himself from the waters of the flood. So I'm going to move from the Jubilees to the book of Enoch, because it really talks in great detail what happened here. So just give me a second here. Okay, so we're going to go to Enoch chapter 7. And let me get I like to make things big enough so I can read it. Okay, so Enoch chapter 7. It happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days, that daughters were born to them elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, or lust after them, saying to each other, Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the men, and let us begot children. Then their leader, and I'm going to call him Sam because he has a long name, I think it's Samyatsa, said to them, I fear that you may perhaps be indisposed to the performance of this enterprise, and that I alone shall suffer for so grievous a crime. But they answered him, said, We all swear and bind ourselves by mutual agreement that we will not change our intentions but execute our projected undertaking. Then they swore all together, and all bound themselves by mutual agreement. Their whole number was 200 who descended upon Ardus, which is the top of Mount Armin. That mountain, therefore, was called Ammon, because they had sworn upon it and bound themselves by mutual agreement. And I won't even go through the names because I can't even pronounce the names, but there was 200 of them. Then they took wives, each choosing for himself, whom they begotten to approach, and with whom they cohabited, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and the dividing of roots and trees. And the women conceiving brought forth giants, whose statues was each 300 cubits. These devoured all which the labor of men produced, until it became impossible to feed them, when they turned themselves against men in order to devour them, and began to injure birds, beasts, reptiles, and fishes, to eat their flesh one after another, and to drink their blood. So there you got the first vampires. Then the earth reproved the unrighteousness. Moreover, and I'll just do the initials. AZ taught men to make swords, knives, and shields. These are the fallen angels. Az taught men to make swords, knives, and shields, breastplates, the fabrication of mirrors, and the workmanship of bracelets and ornaments, the use of paint, the beautifying of the eyebrows, the use of stones of every variable and selected kind, and all sorts of dyes, so that the world became altered. I am increased fornication, multiplied, and they transgressed and corrupted all their ways. Am taught all the sorcerers and dividers of roots. Armers taught the solution of sorcery. Bar taught the observers of the stars. Ak taught signs. Tammi taught astronomy, and As taught the motion of the moon. And men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached to heaven. So these angels taught a lot of technology that I guess God didn't want men to know. Then Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, and there's a couple other angels, I can't pronounce their names, looked down from heaven and saw the quality of blood which was shed on earth, and all the iniquity which was done upon it, and said to one another, It is the voice of their cries. The earth depraved of her children has cried even to the gates of heaven. And now to you, O you Holy One in heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, Obtain justice for us with the Most High. Then they said to their Lord, the King, You are Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings. The throne of your glory is forever and ever is your name sanctified and glorified. You are blessed and glorified. You have made all things. You possess power over all things, and all things are open and manifest before you. You beheld all things, and nothing can be concealed from you. You have seen what Az has done, how he has taught every species of iniquity upon earth, and has disclosed to the world all the secret things which are done in the heavens. Samyaza also has taught sorcery, to whom you have given authority over those who are associated with him. They have joined together to the daughters of men, have laid with them, they have become polluted, and have discovered crimes to them. The women likewise have brought forth giants. Thus has the whole earth been filled with blood and with iniquity. And now behold, the souls of those who are dead cry out, and complain even to the gates of heaven. So there is no such thing as soul sleep, because the dead can cry to God when injustice is done. The groaning ascends, nor can they escape from the unrighteousness which is committed on earth. You know all things before they exist. You know these things and what has been done by them, yet you do not speak to us. What on account of these things ought we to do to them? Then the Most High, the Great and Holy One, spoke, and sent Aor to the son of Lemish, saying, Say to him in my name, Conceal yourself. Then explain to him the consummation which is about to take place. For all the earth shall perish, the waters of a deluge shall come over the whole earth, and all things which are in it shall be destroyed. And now teach him how he may escape, and how his seed may remain in all the earth. Again the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Az hand and foot, and cast him into darkness, opening the desert which is in Duda, cause him in there. Throw upon him hurling and painted stones, covering him with darkness. Then shall he remain forever. Cover his face, that he may not see the light. In the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire. Restore the earth which the angels have corrupted, and announce life to it, that I may revive it. All the sons of men shall not perish in consequences of every secret by which the watchers have destroyed, and which they have taught their offspring. To Gabriel also the Lord said, Go to the biters, to the reprobites, to the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, the offspring of the watchers from among men, both them forth, and excite them one another against another. Let them perish by mutual slaughter, for length of days shall not be theirs. They shall all entreat you, but their fathers shall not obtain their wishes respecting them. For they shall hope for eternal life, and that they may live, each of them 500 years. Michael likewise the Lord said, Go announce his crime to Samyaza and to the others who are with him, who have been associated with women, that they might be polluted with all their impurity. And when all their sons shall be slain, when they shall see the predictions of their beloved, bind them for 70 generations underneath the earth, even to the day of judgment, and of consummations unto the judgment, the effort of which will last forever to be completed. Then shall they be taken away into the lowest depths of the fire and torment, and confinement shall they be shut up forever. Immediately after this shall be together with them burned and perish. They shall be bound into the consummations of many generations. Destroy all the souls addicted to death. It's Dallince. I don't know what that means. And the offspring of the watchers, for they had terrorized mankind. Let every opposer perish from the face of the earth. Let every evil work be destroyed. The plant of righteousness and of rectitude appear, and its produce become a blessing. Righteousness and rectitude shall be forever planted with delight. And then shall all the saints give thanks. So I'm going to stop here for a minute. And I'm going to fast forward up to some other chapters about the Watcher's children and read that to you. Now we're going to skip to Enoch chapter 15 to see what God says to the Watchers or the fallen angels or the sons of God. You being spiritually holy and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourself with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish. Therefore have I given to them wives, that they might cohabit with them, that sons might be born of them, and that this might be transit upon earth. But you from the beginning were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. Therefore I made not wise for you, because being spiritual your dwelling is in heaven. Now the giants who have been born of spirit and flesh shall be called upon earth evil spirits, and on earth shall be their habitations. Evil spirits shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy Watchers was their beginning and primary foundation. Evil spirits shall they be upon earth, and the spirits of the wicked shall they be called. The habitation of the spirits of heaven shall be in heaven, but upon earth shall be the habitations of terrestrial spirits who are born on earth. The spirits of the giants shall be like clouds, which shall press, corrupt, fall, content, and bruise upon earth. They shall cause limitations. No food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed, and shall not rise up against the sons of men, and against women, where they shall come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. And as the deaths of the giants, wheresoever their spirit depart from their bodies, let their flesh, that which is purged, will be without judgment. Thus shall they perish until the day of the great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impurous. And now to the watchers who have sent you to pray for them, who in the beginning were in heaven. In heaven have you been. Secret things, however, have not been manifested to you, yet have you known a reputable mystery. And this you have related to women in the hardness of your heart. And by that mystery have women and mankind multiplied evils upon the earth. Say to them, never therefore shall you obtain peace. They raised me up into a certain place where there was the appearance of a burning fire. And when they passed, they assumed the likeness of men. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and just tell you that, the giants were killed. And from my understanding, they died during the flood, but their spirits became what we call demons today, or evil spirits. So demons are not fallen angels. They are the offspring of those fallen angels. So I'm going to go to another book. I'm going to go to the book of Jasher, where it talks a little more in detail about the flood and why God sent the flood. And we're going to start with book of Jasher, and the Bible also talks about the book of Jasher, so it is a book you can trust in because throughout the Old Testament, the Bible talks about the book of Jasher. Okay, so Jasher chapter 5. And it was in the 84th year of the life of Noah that Enoch the son of Seth died. He was 905 years old at his death. And in the 179th year of the life of Noah, Canaan the son of Kenash died. And all the days of Canaan was 910 years, and he died. And in the 234th year of the life of Noah, Mahalalel the son of Cainan died. And the days of Mahalalel was 895 years, and he died. And Jared the son of Mahalalel died in those days. In the 336th year of the life of Noah, and all the days of Jared was 962 years, and he died. And all who followed the Lord died in these days before they saw the evil which God declared to do upon earth. And after the lapse of many years, in the 480th year of the life of Noah, when all these men who followed the Lord had died away from amongst the sons of men, and only Methuselah was then left, God said unto Noah and Methuselah, saying, Speak ye and proclaim to the sons of men. Let me scroll up here. Okay, so let's see. Where am I? I lost my place. Okay, seek ye and proclaim to the sons of men, saying, Thus saith the Lord, return from your evil ways and forsake your works, and the Lord will repent of the evil that he declared to do to you, so that it shall not come to pass. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I give you a period of 120 years. If you will turn to me and forsake your evil ways, then I will also turn away from the evil which I told you, and it shall not exist, saith the Lord. So the Lord is talking about the flood. He gave them 120 years to repent before he sent the flood. And Noah and Methuselah spoke all the words of the Lord to the sons of men, day after day, constantly speaking to them. But the sons of men would not hearken to them, nor incline their ears to their words, and they were stiff-necked. And Lord granted them a period of 120 years, saying, If they will return, then will God repent of the evil, so as not to destroy the earth. Noah the son of Lamech refrained from taking a wife in those days, to begot children. For he said, Surely now God will destroy the earth, wherefore then shall I begot children. And Noah was a just man, and he was perfect in his generation. And the Lord chose him to raise up seed from his seed upon the face of the earth. And the Lord said unto Noah, Take unto thee a wife, and begot children, for I have seen the righteousness before me in this generation. And thou shalt rise up seed and thy children with thee in the midst of the earth. And Noah went and took a wife, and he chose Naamah, the daughter of Enoch, and she was 580 years old. And Noah was 490 years old when he took Naamah for a wife. And Naamah conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Japheth, saying, God has enlarged me in the earth. And she conceived again and bore a son, and called his name Shem, saying, God has made me a remnant to rise up seed in the midst of the earth. And Noah was 502 years old when Naamah bore Shem, and the boys grew up and went in the ways of the Lord, and all that Methuselah and Noah their father taught them. And Lamech the father Noah died in those days, yet very did he not go with all his heart in the ways of his father. And he died in the 195th year of the life of Noah. And all the days of Lamech was 770 years, and he died. And all the sons of men who knew the Lord died in that year before the Lord brought evil upon them. So the Lord willed them to die, so as not to behold the evil that God would bring upon their brothers and relatives, as he had so declared to do. And I like to comment on that. There's a lot of ministers that are dying very young, and sometimes I wonder if God is like sparing them from the evil that's coming, because you think a righteous person should live a long life, but why are they being cut off so early? I think it could be that God's trying to save them from evil that's coming before, the rapture happens. And Noah and Melusa stood forth and said in the ears of the sons of men all that God has spoken concerning them. But the sons of men would not hearken, neither would they incline their ears to all their declarations. And it was after this that the Lord said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me on account of their evil deeds, and behold, I will destroy the earth. And do thy take unto thee gopherwood, and go to a certain place, and make a large ark, and place it in that spot. Thus shall thy make it 300 cubits its length, 50 cubits broad, and 30 cubits high. And thou shalt make unto thee a door, open at its side, and to a cubit thou shalt finish above, and cover it within and without with pitch. And behold, I will bring the flood of waters upon the earth, and all flesh be destroyed from under the heavens. All that is upon earth shall perish. And behold, I will bring the flood of waters upon the earth. I read that. And thy and thy household shall go and gather 2 couples of all living things, male and female, and shall bring them into the ark, to rise up seed from upon earth. And gather unto thee all food that is eaten by the animals, that there may be food for thee and for them. And thou shalt choose for thy sons 3 maidens from the daughters of men, and they shall be wives to thy sons. And Noah rose up, and he made the ark, and in the place where God had commanded him. And Noah did as God has ordered him. In his 595th year Noah commenced to make the ark, and he made the ark in 5 years, as the Lord had commanded. Then Noah took the 3 daughters of Eliakim, son of Melusa, for wives for his son, as the Lord had commanded Noah. And it was at that time Melusa, the son of Enoch, died. 960 years old was he at his death. So, at that time, after the death of Melusa, the Lord said to Noah, go thou with thy household into the ark. Behold, I will gather to thee all the animals of the earth, the beasts of the fields, and the birds of the air, and they shall all come and surround the ark. And thou shalt go and set thyself by the doors of the ark, and all the beasts, the animals, and the birds shall assemble and place themselves before thee. And such of them as shall come and crouch before thee shall thou take and deliver into the hands of thy sons, who shall bring them to the ark, and all that who stand before thee shall leave. And the Lord brought this about on the next day, and animals, beasts, and birds came in great multitudes and surrounded the ark. And Noah went and seated himself by the door of the ark, and of all flesh that crouched before him he brought into the ark, and all that stood before him he left upon earth. And that might be talking about the dinosaurs. Let me read that again. It says, and all that stood before him. I'm not sure if it means that they towered above him. And a lioness came with her 2 whoops, male, female, and the 3 crouched before Noah. And the 2 whoops rose up against the lioness and smite her, and made her flee from her place, and she went away. And they returned to their places and crouched upon the earth before Noah. And the lioness ran away and stood in the place of the lion. And Noah saw this and wondered greatly, and he rose and took the 2 whoops and brought them into the ark. And Noah brought into the ark from all living creatures that were upon earth, so that there was none left but which Noah brought into the ark. 2 and 2 came to Noah into the ark. But from the clean animals and clean birds he brought 7 couples, as God had commanded him. And all the animals, beasts, and birds were still there, and they surrounded the ark at every place, and the rain had not descended till 7 days after. And on that day the Lord caused the whole earth to shake, and the sun darkened, and the foundations of the world would rage, and the whole earth was moved violently, and the lightning flashed, and the thunder rolled, and all the fountains of the earth were broken up, such as was not known to the inhabitants before. And God did this mighty act in order to terrify the sons of men, that there might be no more evil upon earth. And still the sons of men would not return from their evil ways, and they increased the anger of the Lord at that time, and did not even direct their hearts to all this. And at the end of 7 days, in the 600th year of the life of Noah, the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And Noah and his household and all the living creatures that were with him came into the ark on account of the waters of the flood. And the Lord shut him in, and all the sons of men that were left upon the earth became exhausted through evil on account of the rain. For the waters were coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and beasts were still surrounding the ark. And the sons of men assembled together, about 700,000 men and women. They came unto Noah to the ark. And they called to Noah, saying, Open for us, that we may come to thee in the ark, and wherefore shall we die? And Noah with a loud voice answered them from the ark, saying, Have you not all rebelled against the Lord, and said that he does not exist? And therefore the Lord brought upon you this evil, to destroy and cut you off from the face of the earth. Is not this the thing that I spoke to you of 120 years back? And you would not hearken to the voice of the Lord. And now do you deserve to live upon earth? And they said to Noah, We are ready to return to the Lord. Only open for us that we may live and not die. And Noah answered them, saying, Behold, now that you see the trouble of your souls, you wish to return to the Lord. Why did you not return during these 120 years, which the Lord granted you as the determined period? But now you come and tell me this on account of the troubles of your soul. And now also the Lord will not listen to you, neither will he give you ear. Neither will he give ear to you on this day, so that you will not now succeed in your wishes. And the sons of men approached and ordered to break into the ark, to come on account of the rain, for they could not bear the rain upon them. And the Lord sent all the beasts and animals that stirred round the ark, and the beasts overpowered them and drove them from that place. And every man went his way, and they again scattered themselves upon the face of the earth. And the rain was still descending upon the earth, and it descended 40 days and 40 nights, and the waters prevailed greatly upon the earth, and all flesh that was upon the earth or in the waters died, whether men, animals, beasts, creeping things, or birds of the air. And there only remained Noah and those that were with him in the ark. And I like to comment on that. That's probably how dinosaurs got fossilized, and that's probably why dinosaurs died out, was because of the great flood. And the waters prevailed, and they greatly increased upon the earth, and they lifted up the ark, and it raised from the earth. And the ark floated upon the face of the waters, and it was tossed upon the waters, so that all the living creatures within were turned about like pottage in a pot. And great anxiety seized all the living creatures that were in the ark, and the ark was like to be broken. And all the living creatures that were in the ark were terrified. And the lions growled, and the oxen lowed, and the wolves howled. And every living creature in the ark spoke and lamented in his own language, so that their voice reached to a great distance. And Noah and his sons cried and wept in their troubles. They were greatly afraid that they had reached the gates of death. So in the Garden of Eden, the animals were able to talk. And, the serpent tempted Eve. And so animals had the ability of speech back then. But, of course, they lost that ability probably after the flood. And Noah prayed unto the Lord and cried unto him on account of this. And he said, O Lord, help us, for we have no strength to bear this evil that has encompassed us. For the waves of the waters have surrounded us, mischievous torrents have terrified us. The snares of death have come before us. Answer, O Lord, answer us. Light up thy countenance towards us, and be gracious to us, redeem us, and deliver us. And Lord hearkened to the voice of Noah, and Lord remembered him. And the wind passed over the earth, and the waters were stilled, and the ark rested. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. Remember how Jesus was in the boat sleeping, and the disciples thought they were going to drown, and they woke up Jesus, and he calmed the seas. Well, this is what God did, with Noah. And the waters deceased in those days, and the ark rested upon the mountain of Ararat. And Noah then opened the windows of the ark, and Noah still called out to the Lord at that time, and he said, O Lord, who does form the earth and the heavens and all that are therein. Bring forth our souls from this confinement, and from the prison which thou hast placed us. For I am much weary reciting. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Noah, and said to him, When thou shalt have completed a full year, thou shalt then go forth. And at the revolution of the year, when a full year was complete, to Noah's dwelling in the ark, the waters were dried from all the earth. And Noah put off the coverings of the ark. At that time, on the 27th day of the second month, the earth was dry, but Noah and his sons and those that were with him did not go out from the ark until the Lord told them. And the day came that the Lord told them to go out, and they all went out from the ark. And they went and returned every one to his ways and to his place. And Noah and his sons dwelt in the land that God had told them. And they served the Lord all their day. And the Lord blessed Noah and his sons on their going out from the ark. And he said to them, Be fruitful and fill all earth, become strong, increase abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. So that's how another story from the book of Jasher. It gives a little more detail about what happened. And have you guys ever wondered where Cain got his wife? Well, I'm going to share that with you. And that is in the book of Jasher. So just give me a minute here and I'll look that up for you. Okay, it's in the book of Jubilee. And here's what what it says, okay. Jubilee chapter 4. And in the third week, in the second Jubilee, and this would be like 64 to 74 years, she gave birth to Cain. And in the fourth, she gave birth to Abel. And in the fifth, she gave birth to her daughter Awan. So, and let's see. I'm going to scroll down here to the part where it talks about Awan and Cain getting married. So, just give me a minute here. So, Jubilee 4:9 talks about Cain marrying his sister, Awan, and it says, And Cain took Awan his sister to be his wife, and she bore him Enoch at the close of the fourth Jubilee. And in the first year of the first week of the fifth Jubilee, houses were built on the earth. And Cain built a city and called its name after the name of his son Enoch. So it goes on, basically Seth and Cain marry their sisters, which we all could figure that out. But I just want to thank everyone for watching my YouTube video. I hope I didn't bore you with these readings. I just find them very interesting. It fills in the blanks and helps you to understand what really happened back then. All right, have a blessed day. Bye.